What's up, guys? It's your Super Players back at it again with another video, and it's your host Tony G, bringing you his competitive Gogeta deck that's tournament winning. This deck is phenomenal, one of the best decks in the game. I feel people are really underrating this guy, and it's so powerful. It's Gogeta, bringing it back old school. Gogeta is still one of the best leaders in my opinion. It has board removal, it has draw ability, like draw so much, and it's just great. It's an overall great leader. And it has such a powerful effect, Awaken, honestly. And so, obviously, let's get into the deck. I'm going to give you fair warning. This deck is not cheap. It is very expensive. So, if budget is in your favor, I will make another budget deck. But competitively, this deck is very, very expensive, guys. And it's so strong. So, obviously, activate main. Look at the top 5 cards. Add a red Goku, Vegeta BR, or a Veku BR, blue, to your hand, and then awaken. You awaken at 4 lives or less, restand 2 energy, and then when you're awakened, this is where it gets crazy. I'm telling you, this deck is so powerful. The way I built it, you're guaranteed awakening by like turn 3, 4 sometimes, even if they don't attack. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And so we have SS Gogeta, the Unstoppable. When this card attacks, draw 1 card. This is where his ability gets insane. Is pay 2 energy, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and place it in the bottom of its owner's deck. And not only that, it's not once per turn, so you could bottom deck a bunch of cards. Great effect, board removal when you need it. And then you have once per turn, choose one of your energies and pop and place it in the owner's drop, and then draw 2 cards. This card is insane. You got board removal and hand recovery. There's times where you're going to go up against a hand destruction deck, you'll lose 4 cards, but if you're going to awaken around that turn, you're at 5 life, for example, take a life with some card here you have in here, draw 1, awaken, attack, draw 1, pay, pop the energy, draw 2. You literally recovered the 4 cards you just lost. So it's really great with hand recovery. And sometimes if it's not even a hand destruction deck, you'll have at least the most I've had in one turn was 17 cards, and it's just insane. Like, I'm telling you that right now, it's insane. You filter through the deck so well, you draw so much, and it's such a strong deck. So let's go into the deck. I'm telling you, fair warning, it is not cheap. And definitely stay tuned for the end of the video is when the giveaway winner will be announced for the 2 secret rares. Will be given out to 2 winners. So there we go. We have Zeno, 4 Zeno, Cosmic Unison, great Unison. Ramping is what we do in this deck, and he helps you get there a lot quicker. And not only that, he's just still a strong Unison card. Like, he's still phenomenal. Your opponent can't really get rid of him turn 2. And yeah, he sits there and he's staring at you with a big smile, about to wreck you. We run 4 of those guys. And then we have Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan. Dark Power Mass Saiyan is great in best of 1. In best of 3, like if I played in a real like live tournament, I'd bump him up to 2 in the main deck. But since we're playing in best of 1, this guy's great at 1. Sometimes you just need that 1 extra. You're left at 5, you have to attack, take a life sometimes. Or this guy's just great to have because he hits Obuni when his tokens. He hits Broly BR, the red one, and he also hits Sin Shenron at times. So once you play him out, your opponent has to discard 2. They stop the ice play. Great card. This guy's great at 1, I feel, especially because we try to keep it as mono blue as possible. And then we have 2 Burnished Borgos, Borgos, just because he's great. He pretty much hurts all blue decks that aren't like this guy hurts all restanding energy. So if people try to do Sensu Bean on you, or if people playing Starter Coup, or people are playing Reboot SS3, this hurts them. You blow up their energy. There's times where I've had 2 of them, and Starter Coup had to risk it because they tapped out and they restood 2, and I popped those 2. So I mean, it really puts them in a tough spot. I mean, that guy is so strong. Borgos, they forget how strong that guy is. My Bulric of the Future, she's great at searching your Unison if you don't open it up. She looks at top 5. Like I said, this deck filters so much. You look at top 5 looking for Goku, Vegeta, Veku, and then not only that, you have another card that searches another other targets like your Unison and your Trunks Future counterplay cards, which are great. So I mean, turn 1, you ideally want to look at top 5, look at Goku, Vegeta, find it, and Veku, whatever, which one you find, add it, play her, you add another card, you add a Vegeta or Unison, anything you need at that moment. So this just gets insane sometimes. Like, you draw so much in this deck. And then stay tuned, there's gonna be an update on it later on with the draft box cards, because the draft box cards just made it way more consistent and way more powerful. And then we have a 2-2 split. We have Zeno, the Edge of Space, and then Vegeta, Disciplined Warrior. You draw so much, so I don't want to use this too much because you could deck out. I'm telling you that right now. There's times where I've got close to decking out. And then this guy, when sometimes you hit your Veku energy, when he gets KO'd, whatever, you hit some cards that you might need in that moment. And like I hit a secret rare when they're attacking me. I played this. I drew my my secret rare back to my hand, which was great. It's what I wanted. So 2-2 split helps you in sticky situations for sure. And then this one is I run 2 Vegeta Godly Aura and then Son Goku Godly Aura. I would switch this out for vanilla. I don't really need this guy because honestly I don't look for Gogeta cards at all. He's not that great, but this guy is the MVP. I think he's great. Sometimes you're left at 5 and you don't really have a lot of awakening cards sometimes in your hand at that moment. This guy, Union Fusion, draw 1 card, you go from 5 to 4 and the party starts after that, and you got a barrier blocker, which is great. So I highly recommend. I might bump him up to 3 and then the other Vegeta to the vanilla one, the 1-drop vanilla. Like honestly, you don't really need a Vegeta card. You do need the Vegeta card for Union Fusion, but not that guy. You could use it with any other Vegeta BR card that you need if money's an issue. You can't get those Vegetas. I honestly just would play the vanilla. Then we have 2 apes. Great MVP against hand destruction decks. Really, like the leader recovers, but when you have this in the drop, they look at you and they're like, dang, why do you have that card? People forget this guy's still pretty powerful for 2 energy. Draw 2 cards, and there was times where I like lost both apes and then used them that same turn to awaken. I did some shenanigans and I literally recovered like 8 cards. It was awesome. But yeah, this really is the counter to hand destruction decks. Like I said, this is built for best of 1. In best of 3, I will cut some cards and maybe my sideboard will look a little bit different. Then we have 4 Prospect Trunks. Great card. I mean, this guy stops Dark Broly BR, red one. This stops Go Tanks. It stops a lot of cards, man. I think this guy is such a great card. I highly recommend running him at 4. He's still good. Slows down a lot of decks. I mean, I'm telling you, a lot of decks. Like I said, this deck is not cheap, but slows down a lot. I still play 4 Obuni just because he's still one of the best cards in the game. Restand 1 of your energy at the end of turn and on your opponent's, I believe, main phase, so that kind of goes over Borgos too. And not only that, you get 15k of combo tokens. So I mean, just play around Dormant, Potential, Unleashed and you should be good. And then yeah, I mean, 4 is great. I would play 4. This guy is my MVP in the deck. I'm gonna bump him up to 4. If I cut Obuni to 3, I would bump this to 3 as well, just because the synergy with this deck, you're at 5 energy really quickly, especially with Zeno. And then when you play this card, draw 1 card and then restand 1 of your energy. So it's technically a 3-drop triple striker. And sometimes you're stuck at Awakening and they leave you at like 7, 6 and you need that extra push to like take a life. This guy gets you there. And sometimes I awaken with 7 life in my hand, or like, it's insane sometimes. But at all costs, Vegeta is the MVP. This guy is, people are still underrating how strong this guy was. Like, he's still, now with the counterplays, he's still one of the best cards. I would bump him up to 3. And then we have 2 Merchant, obviously, just in case those certain matchups, sometimes you don't have at all costs Vegeta, you'll play Merchant instead. This guy is great, gets over anything that tries to KO because he's barrier. And in this meta, a lot of people don't have barrier removal, so I mean, this guy's still good. Like, I take advantage of those decks that don't play barrier removal, and then we run 4 Veku. Like I said, people aren't playing anything that removes barrier, and so 4 Veku is great. You see it when you need it, and you always see the Goku and Vegeta card because you filter the deck so quickly. And yeah, 4 Veku ramp really quickly, and then we run 3 SS Trunks God Sealing Technique. You only need 3. You'll see it. Sometimes you'll hit the energy, and like I said, you have Zeno to pretty much combo it and get it back to your hand. So like I said, 3 is perfect. Sometimes you can only do it once per turn, just because during your opponent's turn they play something, you bounce it back, but it slows you down. You know, you can't use it again. So it kind of becomes a dead card in your hand if you have 2. So running 3 is perfect, I feel. And then this guy, this guy was also the MVP. Certain matchups, like the ones that dragged on a lot, was Android Turning the Tides. I might cut him because there was times where I didn't really win with him. I won with more at all cost Vegeta all the time. And so I think I might do that. But overall, this guy still is the MVP against Sin Shenron. I mean, they used everything from their drop. Play this guy, Sin Shenron got stuck. Like, they couldn't even, like, they were going to awaken that turn, played him that following turn. And he was just like, well, there goes my entire plays. Like, he comboed everything he needed. Like, he didn't realize that I play this card. And, yeah, he lost because of that. Both Sin Shenron players I played in the past, they lost because of this card. So, I mean, Sin Shenron is becoming a very popular deck as well. So, highly recommend playing that at 3. Maybe 2, not sure. And then, obviously, the one of this guy is still the best card, in my opinion, for blue. One of the best cards, because sometimes you tap out and you are already at 3, and sometimes you're just like, I don't want to die. You play him, you're fine. Like, I think this guy's still really good, especially like after this guy gets played, they don't even attack anymore. They pretty much end their turn. Well, they can't attack anymore. And then for the extra cards, I play 3 Sensu Bean. Great card, self-explanatory, just restand energy. And then we go into 3 Dimension Magic. Yeah, I only play 3 just because I want to make room for Resolve Training. People are like, what, you still play Resolve Training? I'm like, yes, with this deck you ramp really fast and you're at 5 energy pretty quickly. Like turn 3, I mean 3, 4, you're already awakening. Like sometimes they won't even want to attack you just because that leader, they know that there's no self-awakening with him. But honestly, I run a few cards that self-awaken, especially against Sin Shenron. This guy is the MVP. I awaken at 7 to even 8 life, because they kept attacking Zeno. So I baited out. They attack Zeno. And then I'm like 7, 8. I'm like, okay, whatever. Play Resolve Train. They're like, you play that? I'm like, yep. And then I won. After that, I kept bottom decking everything, and they just got stuck. So there you guys have it. That is my Gogeta deck. It's such a great card, leader. And I highly recommend anyone playing it. If you have the money to do it, I'll make a budget version of it. And it's still one of the best and fun decks in the game. So there you guys have it from your host, Tony G. Y'all stay super. Alright, so you made it past the video and my boring voice. So now we're gonna be announcing the 2 giveaway winners that won the Gogeta secret rare. So definitely, if you win, hit us up on our email at superplayers@gmail.com, or send us a Instagram message on our Super Players Instagram as well. So let's get the comments. They're being generated. We're getting all 326 unique commentators or commenters, not commentators. And so here you guys have it. So we're going to see who won, and let's see. The first person that won is Boobaville Basin. Says, the Gogeta is dope, bro. I liked all the cards just as the collection standpoint. So he won the first one. So definitely, like I said, hit us up on our Instagram or Gmail so you could claim your prize. And then the next winner, so Boobaville Basin, congratulations, you won the first one. And then let's pick another winner. And the second winner is Jimmy Bernard. Sorry, not Bernard. You won. So you guys both won. Says Fire Pool. Thank you, man. Thank you for supporting. Thank you, everybody that participated. And like always, hit us up on our Super Players Gmail or Instagram to claim your prize. And like always, thank you so much to the community out there. And smash that like button. And thank you again. And like always, stay super, everybody.